Hello and welcome. I am your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. I'd like to thank our sponsors at Procyon Partners. Procyon, one of the top 50 fastest growing companies in the nation. They specialize in employee benefits, wealth management, and retirement planning. President Sean Rabinowitz, proud supporter of our podcast network and everything we do. Green Street Trust International, owned and operated by Rennell Jump and UConn legendary men's basketball player Jake Voskuhl. They specialize in tax plans for businesses large or small. They will save you money or get you a big fat return on your taxes. To schedule your free strategic tax planning session today, go to www.greenstreettrust.com. Pete Finch and the Finch Law Firm is located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. If you've suffered any type of personal injury, slip and fall, a car accident, your mother-in-law ran you over with her car, your wife got angry one night and decided to stab you, the Finch Firm is for you. Pete has won legal battles all across the state of Connecticut. He will go to war to get every dollar you deserve in compensation. You just have to remember, in a pinch, call Finch or go to his website, thefinchfirm.com. Dynamic Human Performance is owned and operated by UConn legendary running back Andre Dixon. He trains boys and girls of all ages, all sports. He has a boot camp program 7 days a week, 6 a.m. You want to get in shape, you go to Andre. He has an athletic development program where he trains boys and girls in the sport of their choice from the ground up, helps them reach their full potential, be the best they can possibly be. Andre has sent boys and girls to college on scholarship for all different types of sports. To work with the best, he has a 5,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility in Hartford, Connecticut. Go to www.dynamichumanperformance.com. All right, and here we are back for another episode of Inspire Synergy. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully, and with me as always, the real estate tycoon of Connecticut and CEO of House of Changes, Mr. Razul Wallace. Razul?
What's up, Steve?
How have you been? How is your week going so far?
Good, very good. Today I was out and about in Hartford. It's been a good week.
Yeah. So, one of the questions we got asked was, you've done so much for the Norwich community with House of Changes and with some real estate. And what would you say, I know you wanted to give back to those less fortunate, but, sober living and dealing with addiction is a completely different animal. What kind of made you want to get involved in that aspect? As opposed to maybe some other nonprofit organization choices, because you don't have a personal tie into it. So that was what some people were curious about.
There's two things really. One, I'm not like an emotional person, but I feel like I care about people in general and their well-being. So when I see homeless people or people that are down, I always, I might give them something, but I always feel bad that I can't really do anything of substance to help them. So I feel like this is kind of an opportunity to do that. And then also, there's two parts to it. The thing that actually made me kind of take action in this way is a good friend of mine who I've known for years, who's also a real estate investor. everything he's ever told me or person he's connected me with has been like it's worked out well. So he was like, you got to do the nonprofit. It's a different world, and you know, the tax benefits, things like that. So I thought about it, and I was like, the idea of doing something else, like I just don't have the time, the bandwidth. But he's like, well, I got someone that can help you with it. So then I thought about it, and then he followed up maybe like a few months later, and I was like, and mind you, everything he said before, whenever I took his advice, it really worked out. So I take what he says like seriously. I seriously consider it. And then when he called me back a second time, I said, you know what, it's an opportunity to do a good thing, and there's a good positive benefit in it also. I'm gonna just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, and I've been kind of the same way as you. When I lived in Worcester, there was an exit that I would get off of, and I swear some of the panhandlers, like, they organized what exits they would be at every day, and I felt like I would be paying a toll every day. Just, hey, there you go. Hey, Jim. Hey, Steve. Hey, have a good day. See you tomorrow.
That's what's up.
But yeah, I know what that's like. Yeah, I always.
I was in Worcester yesterday.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. I was at WPI. You ever heard of WPI?
Oh, you went to WPI?
Yeah, my son is.
No.
He used to work.
Your son is looking there?
Yeah, he's between WPI and RPI. He wants to do mechanical engineering.
Oh, dear God. Have you seen RPI yet?
He went with his mom. I had drill that weekend, so I couldn't go. But he really liked WPI, but RPI's aid package is so much better.
Yes.
And he liked RPI also, and Troy, New York.
Well, nobody likes Troy, New York, but that's nice of him to say. But Worcester is the second largest city in New England, and it's got some great places, and it has some not so great places. But I do some work with the Worcester Red Sox, and we could definitely do something, maybe bring your guys there for a game, or if you want to bring your kid for a game when they start. Okay. I usually go up there. I do a show for the radio station. But yeah, that's amazing that you were at WPI. I mean, it's one of the top schools in the country. And yes, it is very expensive. RPI is just as good. It's just as good, and it's good that you got a better financial aid package from them. Otherwise, you'll have to take out a second mortgage to go to college. It's just crazy. How
the campus was real nice, though. I was surprised.
Yeah, it's because they put it in. It's really in like an isolated, gated community, as is Holy Cross. Yeah. I mean, they try to keep it separate from the city. But RPI or WPI is more downtown than Holy Cross was. But I'm glad that you got to experience that. And there's a lot more to do. There's a lot more to do in Worcester. Troy is fun. It's not fun, but Albany's fun. So if he has access to get over to Albany, SUNY Albany was the number one party university several years ago. So
wow, is that right?
Still up until 4 a.m. Yeah, it's always fun in Albany. But
how far is that from you?
Oh, it's right near me. It's about an hour and 10 minutes.
So whenever we take them, I'm gonna come sleep over your house.
Yeah, please do. It'll be a blast. I wanted to just say, because you jumped into this, what was kind of your perspective going into the recovery community? Because for someone who hasn't experienced what it's like, especially dealing with addicts and dealing with some of the mental health problems they have, and then also dealing with, a lot of the manipulation, a lot of the temperament, a lot of them, restarting their lives and hitting rock bottom. I mean, walking into that without experiencing it, I mean, your perspective must have been somewhat shocked.
I would say I don't think so. I actually feel like I had a reasonable expectation of it because I feel like people in general can be like unreliable, unstable, or flaky. Like even people that don't or aren't known to have, those challenges. So, and I figured my assumption was that there might be a slightly higher degree of instability in the community. So my biggest concern really was like, if there would be like damage to the property or, if the income would be so inconsistent that it would be hard to manage the income and the expenses. But it's actually been right around, maybe slightly better than I expected.
Yeah. And it is because it's so challenging to find opportunities for housing, especially if after you get out of treatment. And guys, relish and are thankful for the opportunity after you've been either in a PHP facility or doing intensive outpatient, the chance to live on your own in a house, with other guys who have been through the same things as you. It's really fulfilling for them. I mean, it's starting over, but it provides a sense of hope.
Yeah, and I really can't speak to how lucky I feel like we got someone that is as grounded, stable as Marcus as the house man. I feel like, to me, I feel like he's a blessing, and he keeps that. And he,
oh yeah,
he manages the house and the standards of the house really well.
Marcus is the best house manager I have encountered in my journey. I think he is phenomenal with the job that he does, and how he handles the men, and he really treats them like men and isn't a babysitter. I really like that about him. And then his demeanor, he's always calm, and he thinks before he speaks, which a lot of us do not. The other thing, because you say you're not emotional, you are emotional, and you have concerns and anxiety, and just like everyone else. Have you handled any relapses or setbacks within your house personally, or taken it personally, or has it affected you on that level, or have you been able to kind of maintain a boundary?
Oh man, my bad, Cody. Someone was calling, and
that's okay. No, I was just saying about, it's tough in that community because you're dealing with relapses and setbacks, and despite you saying that you're not emotional, you are emotional.
Hold on 1 second.
See, this is how emotional he is. Can't even answer the question. Can you hear me? Can you hear me or no?
Hello?
Oh, yeah. Good?
Yeah. That's better.
Okay. No, I was asking just despite you saying that you're not emotional, you are emotional. You have anxiety and emotions like everyone else, and concerns. And have you had to any relapse or setbacks from men that affected you personally that you maybe took home, or have you been able to set boundaries to keep that separate?
I think that I don't think I've I guess I talk about it with my girlfriend Kristen um, quite a bit, and I don't feel particularly attached. I think I've maybe some slight disappointment or maybe some naivety, like. But
Right.
Marcus is he's on it. He'd be like, nah, that's bullshit. You know what I mean? When dudes are like, oh, I'm good now, or whatever the case may be, he's like, nah, that's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. You can tell. He can tell right away. He
Yeah.
can tell right away, which is amazing about it. I mean, because you're essentially the CEO and running the house, and you don't have the bandwidth, as you like to say, or a huge staff. How do you measure success for the house, for a certain resident? Do they write down, goals for a day, a week, a month, things that they look to achieve?
So we don't necessarily have that. We started to track like the men that come in, the outcomes that we have. So we're starting to track it now. But as far as like what we consider successful, I think we don't really have that. But I think we're shooting for the fall to get a case manager, just because we had the one we had before. I think I do believe that we were beyond the bandwidth that she had. You know what I mean? Just because of the frequency that the men. So I always give the benefit of the doubt, because that's what I feel like it is for most people. I feel like it's not a malicious thing. It's just it's more of a bandwidth thing that people have.
Right. I agree.
So I think we're shooting for one in the fall to get a case manager basically that can help each of the guys kind of create those goals and stay on track for them.
And are your residents all typically from Norwich or from some different part of Connecticut?
I mean, most of them are, but I think that we have a few Norwich, New London area residents.
Right.
But yeah, we got guys from New Haven. Where else? Is that Waterbury?
But nobody out of state though. But it's pretty much Connecticut based.
I think most of the guys are Connecticut based.
And the treatment centers, especially that you've talked with, and now that you have a wait list, which is great, they have primarily been Connecticut based too, correct?
Yeah, we've really just been relying on one. They managed because they took the first guy because we called and we were able to take him like first thing in the morning the next day, and then we developed a contact there because we actually had a relapse this week, and we called our contact, and she was able to. We called there first, and they said that intake happens in the morning. We spoke to our contact, and they said, "Oh well, for this, we have a 24/7 line. Give me his number." I gave her a number. They called them. They did the intake over the phone, and they sent the car to pick them up.
Yeah. That's typically how it does go. So that's good. That's good that you're developing a working relationship with them. And I'm going to give you the place in New Hampshire as well, because they'll do the same thing. I mean,
Really?
You may have to keep them overnight, but they will send someone to pick them up in the morning and take them. And especially knowing that they have somewhere to go after, that's huge, because it's happened so many times where you'll just get a bus ticket or just have someone pick you up and you're on your own. They don't do enough about aftercare. So it's good that having that will make them more likely to want to work with you and pick them up. Have you guys tried to help any of your residents rebuild relationships with family, or even, friends, employers, employment opportunities that may have gone awry?
No, not any particular relationships, though. I think that is, I don't know. Do some places do that? That seems a bit, like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of. I mean, if you base it off the 12 steps, one of the steps is making amends, and they will initiate contact with certain people to give them updates on your progress. And if you do want to, it's not really about apologies or forgiveness. You're usually long past that, but it's just about hearing them out and just starting to get the ball rolling. They come, they listen face to face to what you have to say to them, and then that usually will start, and you'll see if a relationship can be repaired. Sometimes you're past it, but yeah, I was just curious if that was something, because I know that Marcus takes the guys to meetings. I know the guys have sponsors. Do you put a time limit on, hey, you need 30 days to find a sponsor? Or is it more they're past that already?
I would say really only if there's like a reason, right? Like for example, when the guy came back from the last guy came back from rehab, that was made a requirement, and it was like a serious, you need this like ASAP type of requirement, because he didn't have one before, and he felt like having that support would be helpful in maintaining the sobriety. But outside of that, it's really just holding them accountable to the meetings, the curfew, the chores and things like that.
But they do go to meetings at least once a week, right? Typically an AA meeting.
Yeah, so the requirement is 3 times a week if you're working, 5 times if you're not.
Oh, good.
If you don't have any type of substance abuse history, you might be able to slide without it, but we'll ask guys to have some other type of growth-oriented practice or habit.
Have you either met or conversed or known any other sober houses, either in Norwich or in Hartford, or just in the area that you know of?
Yeah. Like when we first started, we met with and talked to different people from SCAD, and and SCAD has a number of houses in our area, and they've been pretty, even though like we're competitors, they've been pretty open and talking with us. I think the director had offered for Marcus to have to do a peer recovery specialist certification with them. When they had it, I guess they haven't had one, but the offer was made. He's actually doing that course now. He had the certification in Tennessee,
right.
Connecticut doesn't offer reciprocity, so, and it expired. So he said he's gonna go ahead and get it for Connecticut.
Yeah, no. I get that for sure. How has the M.O.R.E program been going? And was there one last night, or it was last week?
Last week we had Kirk Charles, fit over 40.
I know, I love him.
Did you meet Kirk? Are you familiar with Kirk?
Yeah, he was a man.
Yeah, no, he was good.
I wanted him to sponsor your show.
Is it? Yeah, but no, he came out and he did a really good. Everybody was really engaged, and then even us, like he had me thinking about, because he's only vegetable based, so he's like vegan. He don't mess. he don't mess with. He's a very, but he definitely has you thinking about it. And I'm like, I'm gonna have to do it in phases because I definitely am a meat eater and I love carnivore. So it'll be a process of changing my habits.
Well, I think, the one thing he talked about was being the smoothie king. He always makes really good and healthy smoothies. And that is something that can be, you feel the difference in your body. And, when he was talking about all the additives and stuff that's in our food, processed food, it's crazy to think about it. And I was shocked even to hear about it. So he came and he spoke. Who do you have coming next week?
This coming week is Dr. Kevin Booker. I think he was on the show too.
Oh, yeah, I love Dr. Booker.
Yeah.
And what is he going to speak to the men about?
He's actually heading the spiritual pillar.
Oh, to get them to invest at least spiritually in a religion of some sort, or just have some spirituality.
I think spiritual. I don't think there's any religion in particular. I think that there are aspects of life that are more of a spiritual nature, and he'll kind of like focus on that.
Right. And what would you say? You've been open now over a year. What do you see is kind of like the biggest practical hurdle for taking the next step? You've been able to fill the house. You've been able to get the M.O.R.E program in there. You've been able to get a little extra funding. You're going to be doing another fundraiser. And we're talking a year from this point. Where would you see yourself? Where would you like to be?
A year from now, I think it will be good if we had. I'm torn between the ability to offer more services or more beds.
Right.
Because we have different people that are driving, like Ashley drives like business development, and then Marcus is getting his certification. The case manager may very likely be my girlfriend Kristen, because she did case management for the state for many years, and she understands that pretty well. And so between us, you probably have to get some type of licensed clinical professional. But if we're able to do that, then we might be able to add more services.
Yeah.
Which could potentially be more beneficial than, because one of our priorities is because Marcus, there's places that he can work and earn more income.
Of course.
But he's really committed to the cause, and we really want to, and he feels this is calling. So we really want to
pay it forward.
Yeah. So we want to maximize his skills, his calling, and I think there's a way to do that to bring more revenue for House Changes and for him. It's just a matter of putting pieces of the puzzle together. When you asked what's the biggest obstacle, I say time is the biggest obstacle. Figuring out, how to do more.
Well, because you don't have a huge team. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's different if you had a staff of even 3 or 2, you'd be able to do more. I really think because of your sober living facility, you're not necessarily a treatment facility. I think offering more beds would be beneficial if Marcus is getting licensed, if your girlfriend is going to be the case manager. Those are 2 of the biggest steps that can make a difference. The case management will be there to help anyone in the house get jobs, help with resumes, help with, getting a LinkedIn profile, helping them apply for jobs, showing them how to interview properly. Those are all the biggest skills you need to progress. And then whether you add another house of changes, like we talked about, and it's for women, or you have a house of changes where it's a level up from where the guys are, where they have more freedom, where they don't have a house manager. I think you could benefit from both equally. And we still have to explore the money that you should be getting from the state that you would get for every bed that you've been able to keep filled. So that's where I see it. I mean, you should be getting a lot more money than you are, and that's what we have to figure out how to get done, because there's grants available, especially for 501c that are working, having sober living places, working with addicts. I mean, that will help out in itself, getting you the money. And then I think that you can expand, even talking with Ned Vaughn yesterday on our other show. He said he would love to do kind of what you're doing. And, he would take a house of changes and do it down in North Carolina, or he would do it in New York City, because there's always room for more. I mean, there's always people looking for beds. So it's not a situation where you're going to find a lack of people looking. Do you offer, I mean, I know guys are there with different levels of sobriety. Do you tailor some support to the men depending on the substance they may have been addicted to or their mental health needs?
So we don't tailor to the drug or to like a diagnosis. It's more towards like each individual.
Right.
More towards each individual. We try to give everyone as much leeway and benefit of the doubt as possible. And then if they're able to be responsible with it, then they can keep it, maintain it. If not, then we usually might have to put some other type of kind of, I don't know,
guardrails on it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Guardrail.
All right, we'll be right back. Down south, we have Julius Williams, Jordan Harris, and the rest of the team of the Trench Mob. They train offensive and defensive linemen. They compete in 5v5 tournaments and college showcase camps all across the country. They have sent kids to schools like Florida, Florida State, Miami, Clemson, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, just to name a few. They have sent the highest percentage of kids who work with them to Division I schools on scholarship. To work with the best, go to trenchmobfootball.com. Ned Von Young runs the Fresh Fold Laundry Company in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, a high-end laundry service. You book online, put your laundry out in a clear plastic bag. They pick it up, wash, dry, and fold it for you in 48 hours. They also offer an expedited service if you need that as well. They have an online subscription model, weekly or bi-weekly, where you can get your laundry done that way. They offer deals for college students. So if you want your laundry done, you can do it in your own dorm. They have a pickup and now a delivery service. So you can have your laundry done without leaving the comfort of your own home or dorm room. To sign up, go to their website, my-freshfold.com. All right. Have you had to help any of your residents navigate through probation or court requirements, even maybe child custody issues? Has that ever come up?
Not significantly, not for me. I think I've written letters of support for people based on like, how they have been in the house. If people are like you can tell, like they're contributing positive, I'll write a letter. And I think I try to support everyone, but I'm not gonna lie or make stuff up. I might try to paint them in the best light possible.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I think for the most part, any letters that I've written have been pretty accurate and genuinely what I think and feel about those individuals,
I wouldn't expect anything less. Have you had members in the House that you have tried, or Marcus has tried, to have maybe step up and be kind of leadership, peers in leadership positions, to mentor or help out some of the newcomers that may be coming in?
Yeah, there's a couple guys that are at the House now that he's given those different positions to at times. He went to Tennessee to visit his family, the kids, and when he did that, he put two guys that have exhibited a certain amount of leadership and reliability in charge of like different things, like one house meetings, and then one was like the I think the daily obligations. What else? He's let me know if there's anyone that exhibited those qualities as someone that might be a potential to be like a house manager in the future. And
No, that's great.
Yeah,
that you've had guys like that, and he's been able to recognize it. You said that you had a relapse. You were able to send the client to a PHP program. Were you able to still get that bed filled? Are you still looking to get the bed filled?
I think so. Marcus did say he had some people that had some interest.
Oh, good.
I think that guy moved out. I'll tell you in a second. When was it? I couldn't take him the next day, so I think it was Tuesday. Tuesday is when he was found out. I think Marcus had some suspicions, and then got a solid final answer on Tuesday. And then we called Stonington Institute, and they basically came and got him like within an hour.
Was it a situation where he had wanted to have the bed held for him, or you weren't really sure how it was going to go?
Well, the thing is, part of the conversation is, in this case, like, we prefer whenever possible to hold the beds.
Right, but you have a waiting list.
Right. And in this case, what's up? You ready to go now or no? What? To practice? Oh, your mom's taking you? Okay. So we would, if he was able to like cover his bed, but the big challenge is that he has a court date while he'll be gone. And, I'm not sure how this will bode for his, or, if they'll find out, how they find out, if it's something he'll bring up or not. But, it
wasn't a sure thing to hold it for 28 days. It's not a sure thing. No,
it's not a sure thing. I think in the case of the other gentleman, like, he was like paid up, and it was at a time where we had the room and space, so we were able to do it, but now if we have to choose between someone that is looking for a bed and able to pay right now, I don't know. If we didn't fill it, that would be another thing. You know what I mean?
No, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that. Has there been any, other than you having to pull the guy out of bed to come to a meeting, any light disagreements that you've had with any of your residents?
I haven't had any.
No,
there's been a little bit more friction.
Because you're the big boss. So when they see you around, they're on their best behavior.
Which is it's funny to me because I think you're right, but it just feels funny
No, I
to be
know. I
seen
know.
that way.
I know. I mean, I used to act the same way when the CEO used to come around. Stand up a little taller, try to look like I was paying attention instead of staring out the window. Yeah, of course. But yeah, but it's still good that you maintain that visibility. And I think spending that time with them is critical, and it's going to make a difference. What would you say is rapid fire, the most underrated recovery tool?
Most underrated recovery tool. I think maybe trust.
I think trust. I think the routine is huge. That you have guys
Routine is a big
in a
one.
routine daily, where
Routine is a big one.
Having trust in Marcus, and having a routine where they have a job, they know they have a place, they can come home and go to bed every night, and you at least have some harmony within the house, which I think is good. But I those would be my go-tos. And you have especially what is the non-negotiable for going to PHP? Is it the relapse itself? Is it having drugs in the house? Because obviously those things trigger other residents. Because I know that
one time.
A non-negotiable with when guys have to be sent to PHP. I mean, is it just the relapse itself? Is it a couple of relapses?
I'm ready. I was ready. I'm not going. I'm just picking them up. Sorry, Cully. We're now it's a gymnastics time, and we're coordinating for I thought I was going to take him to practice today. Okay, gymnastics. Are you going to gymnastics after? Straight from there. I'm not going. Is Nikki going? I'll just ride with you. Take this car. I'll just ride with you. Take this car. I'll go. Where's Izzy? No, so this is the time where I pick her up for gymnastics. So
I know.
And they need to go now. And
Okay.
So my bad.
All right. One word that describes Inspire Synergy.
Faithful.
Resilience. All right. Go to gymnastics. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at Razul.